Ah shit! Volume 2 of motherfucking Listitis video games. Unnecessary censoring time, you awesome sons of... Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you are not new. Click here to see my entire first volume of Listitis in all of its glory. I love games. I love games so much that I created a YouTube channel centered around that exact form of entertainment. And this is my weekly series of countdowns, where each week I list my top 10 insert video game related topic here. This list is a bit goofy, but I felt it would be a great opener to the new volume. Everybody has those franchises that they love and adore, and almost every one of those franchises has that game that you cannot stand from it. These are my top 10 games I didn't like from franchises I love. Number 10. Conflict Global Terror. Conflict Desert Storm and its sequel, Conflict Desert Storm 2 Back to Baghdad, were what I believe to be two of the most vital shooters that were ever developed. I cannot give you an amount of time that me and my friends put into these two games. The co-op was as intense as I'd ever seen in a video game. You needed your friends, and they needed you to succeed and complete the campaign. What changed in PS2's Global Terror? They made it embarrassingly easy with little to no emphasis on team play and cooperation. It was just another run-of-the-mill military shooter that will end up in a discount bin at Walmart. Shameful 2K, I know you better than this. Number 9. Rayman, Hoodlum's Revenge. Rayman is one of the greatest platformer franchises to date. I would even say that his last two games, Origins and Legends, and the promise of the third title on the horizon, that Rayman is the king of platforming. Not even a joke. Now, Hoodlum Havoc was by far one of the best forays into 3D platforming and was a standout gem for the 5th generation of games. Now, going from 3D and a home console to the GBA and the 2.5D should have been an easier transfer. But what happened was they took out all of the cleverness that was hoisted in his previous two games. Even the continuation of the story was becoming more and more flaccid. I'm beyond thrilled that Rayman came back with a vengeance as one of the kings of modern gaming, but Hoodlum's Revenge just wasn't it for me. Number 8. Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. I will say this outright. I absolutely hate motion control gaming. It was fun when it first came about. I enjoyed Wii Sports craze and making Link swing his sword in Twilight Princess. But when you are going to take one of the biggest action-adventure franchises of all time and turn it into a motion-controlled full game tutorial, I simply cannot stand by and take that. Skyward Sword introduces some of the best story elements that Zelda has seen in years, but the gameplay was so broken and unmanageable that I could not power my way through it. It will forever go unfinished. My 15-0 record with Zelda has finally fallen to 15-1. Number 7. Sonic and the Secret Rings. I was the first person to say that this game was not part of the Sonic universe, and was not welcome in the discussions. Turning one of gaming's greatest speedrunner games, one of gaming's best 2D platformer games, and one of gaming's most recognizable mascots, and turning it into an on-rail runner was an awful idea. I will not waste my time speaking about this thing anymore. Number 6. Final Fantasy 7, 8, 10, 10-2, 11, 12, 13, 13-2, and 13 Lightning Returns. Now, say what you want about Final Fantasy, but personally, ever since the series went to Sony consoles, it has been utter garbage. Not including 9, every game after 6 was trash to me. 7, while a great and wonderful game and a good story and awesome gameplay, just to me was not what everybody else cracks it up to be. 8 makes no sense. 10 was a soap opera with a half-decent character system. 10-2 was the same, with the same characters almost. 11 was an MMO, 12 was basically not even a Final Fantasy game, it shouldn't have been, and I won't even waste my breath on what 13 is and its abominable cash cow follow-ups. Get your act together, Square, you used to know what you were doing. Number 5. NBA 2K13. I love the 2K sports games, from MLB 2K10 all the way up to the phenomenal NBA 2K12 and 2K14, but for some reason the yearly entry in 2013 failed to meet my expectations. I don't know what it is. I found the animations a bit wonky, and I also couldn't see the purpose in making you stay online to keep virtual currency. The biggest offender of it all, it just forced online play, which I'm not a fan of. I only played a little bit of it before going back to 2K12. 2K14, on the other hand, annoying LeBron James praise aside, phenomenal game. Number 4. Fable 3. Okay, let me open by saying this. The game wasn't bad. At least nowhere near as bad as most people and gaming critics say it is. It plays well, it had a good story, better than the second Fable for sure, and its co-op was also implemented far better than its predecessor. Now, it does have major flaws. The city aspects don't have a choose-all option for repairing and buying, there is no inventory menu or menu at all really, the map sucks, and the decisions you get to make as a king are pretty awful. It is a decent game that I feel people would enjoy had they not played the first 2 entries, but for me, knowing that it follows in the footsteps of Fable and Fable 2 make it a highly disappointing effort. Number 3. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Gen 4. I have to clarify that I am considering giving this generation another chance in a possible Let's Play at some point, but also, I have to say that when you compare it to Gens 1, 2, and 3, to this one, it's not that impressive. Only adding 107 new Pokemon without the excuse that Gen 2 had, slow battle times, horrible saving errors, and a bland story even for Pokemon standards. Now about the new Pokemon, let's break that down. Of the 107 new Pokemon, 14 are legendaries, a tenth of the new Pokemon are legendary. 27 of them are unneeded and unwanted evolutions and prevolutions of past creatures, and then your 9 starters. That leaves an entire new generation of Pokemon franchise, and its hyped move to the DS with only 56 absolutely new creatures. And they weren't even that exciting. I'm not a Gen 1er, but this generation sucked. Number 2. Tenchu, Shadow Assassins. Remember how I said a few minutes ago that I hated motion gaming, and how it ruined Zelda? Well, let's repeat all of what I said there, except replace the name Zelda with another one of my most beloved franchises. The Tenchu series is by far one of the best representations of an action stealth game. When I found out that there was going to be a new one for the Wii, I was worried it would go in the way that Twilight Princess did. And boy, was I ever right. And number 1. Ratchet, Deadlocked. I won't even call this fucking game Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked, because you have to unlock one of the goddamn main characters. How in the shit do you take one of the 3D platformings and action adventure's best franchises and turn it into essentially a third-person shooter? And on top of all of that, make Clank unavailable until way later in the game. Imagine buying Legend of Zelda's Majora's Mask, but when you put it in, you are playing as Tingle, and must venture through many hours of gameplay just to unlock Link. Is that something you would enjoy? Well, if not, and you are a Ratchet and Clank fan, please just skip over this game and go to the Fantastic Future series. Thank you very much for watching the Volume 2 premiere of Listitis Video Games. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed it and hope you stick around for more. Click that like button and that subscribe button to get updates and make me feel like a badass. Also, consider following me on Twitter. I often interact with my fans and viewers over there and announce channel-related news. I also give out occasional free games. You can let me know what you think in the comments below. My name is Pentahybrid. Catch you later.